Hello, Pewter people. Scott Reynolds here with another Pewter Pulse. Offense rules in the NFL. That's why most of the new head coaches in the league are offensive play callers. And the first two head coaches to be fired this year, New Orleans' Dennis Allen and the New York Jets' Robert Saleh, were defensive minded guys. And likely the next one to be fired, Chicago's Matt Eberflus, is a defensive minded head coach as well. Even though the likes of Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski and Ryan Jensen and Ali Marpet, Leonard Fournette, and even Antonio Brown are long gone, the Bucs have quickly rebuilt their offense into a Super Bowl caliber unit, led by another franchise quarterback in Baker Mayfield and a creative, hotshot offensive mind in Liam Cohen. That's the topic of today's Pewter Pulse. But first, your reminder to hit the thumbs up button, give us a like, also leave a comment. Doing those two things helps us with the YouTube algorithm, gets us in front of more awesome Bucs fans like you. So please do it right now. Thank you. And now on to today's Pewter Pulse, which is totally offensive. Bucs general manager Jason Licht has done a remarkable job of building this Bucs offense. It started years ago when Licht was not only drafting the best wide receiver in team history in Mike Evans with his first ever draft pick back in 2014, but also the second best wide receiver in Chris Godwin, a third-round pick in 2017. Now, how many GMs in the NFL can say they've drafted the top two receivers in franchise history? I'm not sure there's another one other than Licht. That is quite a remarkable feat. Almost as remarkable as landing the top two quarterbacks in franchise history. Of course, I'm talking about Tom Brady, who not only won Super Bowl 55 and set franchise records for single-season passing yards and passing touchdowns in his brief stint in Tampa Bay, but also helped lead the Bucs to 13 regular season wins in 2021, which set a new team record. And yes, I'm also talking about Baker Mayfield, who is the second most talented quarterback in franchise history. Now, I know Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl, and I'm not taking anything away from the Bowl, but Mayfield has done a few things Johnson hasn't done in Tampa Bay, which is throw for over 4,000 yards and throw for 28 touchdowns. And that was last year. Mayfield has 24 touchdown passes right now with 6 games left to play and will likely wind up with between 30 to 40 touchdown passes. Now, I know that Jameis Winston was a prolific passer and put up plenty of yards and touchdowns in Tampa Bay, but he also put up plenty of interceptions, and he never took the Bucs to the playoffs like Mayfield did last year. Within the next year or two, we're going to say that Mayfield, the Bucs' $100 million man, is indeed the second best quarterback in Tampa Bay behind Brady. Plus, Licht and the Bucs front office also get some extra points for nailing the right transition and finding a successor from Brady to Mayfield. This isn't quite like Joe Montana to Steve Young or Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, but the fact that Licht and the Bucs were able to have a rather seamless handoff at the quarterback position without having to go through a downward turn with guys like Josh McCown or Mike Glennon or even Jameis Winston types after Brady, it's pretty amazing. And if drafting the two best wide receivers in franchise history and finding the two best quarterbacks in Bucs history wasn't enough, Licht is in the process of building his second Super Bowl caliber offensive line in Tampa Bay. In fact, it was Licht's offensive line that helped attract Brady to Tampa Bay back in 2020. That offensive line was built through the draft with a first-round pick in tackle Tristan Wirfs, 2 second-round picks in tackle Donovan Smith and guard Ali Marpet, and a third-round pick in guard Alex Kappa. One of Licht's best ever free agent signings was Ryan Jensen, whom he made the league's highest-paid center. Jensen, Marpet, and Wirfs were Pro Bowlers. Now the Bucs are ramping up for another Super Bowl run with a completely rebuilt offensive line, again through the draft. Wirfs is the lone holdover, and he's now the team's Pro Bowl left tackle. Right tackle Luke Gedeke is a second-round pick, as is right guard Cody Mauch. Center Graham Barton was the team's first-round pick this year, and free agent guard Ben Bredeson is playing the best football of his career. Now, at first glance, this offensive line may not have the Pro Bowl credentials that the 2020 squad had, but give it time. If there's one position where I trust Jason Licht to nail draft picks, it's the offensive line. Wirfs is a Pro Bowler. I think Barton is a future Pro Bowl center. His playing style is a perfect blend between Marpet and Jensen. And Gedeke is about to become one of the top 5 highest paid right tackles in the league, probably next year with an extension. And he has Pro Bowl potential too, along with Malk, who is improving at such a rapid pace. There are some within the organization that say that this offensive line has the potential to be the best in franchise history, even better than the Super Bowl squad in 2020. Now, I've done a recent Pewter Pulse video on Light's success at finding running backs in the draft after that position was his blind spot, his kryptonite for years. Now, Bucky Irving, Rashad White, and undrafted free agent Sean Tucker are as talented as any 3 deep backfield in the NFL. So talented that Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator, has to use a pony package, 21 personnel, to get 2 of those backs on the field at the same time. Now, I mentioned Liam Cohen, so you got to throw him into the mix as well. Liam Cohen has an offense that can produce 30 points on any given Sunday or Monday or Thursday. In fact, Cohen's offense has already scored 30 points or more in 6 games this year. In 2020, by comparison, Tampa Bay scored 30 points or more 8 times in the regular season. In the 2021 regular season, where the Bucs won 13 games, Tampa Bay scored at least 30 points in 10 games, and that's a franchise record. But here's the thing, there are 6 games left, and Cohen's offense needs just 4 more games with 30 points or more to tie that franchise record. That is amazing. And it's a testament to how good this Bucs offense is and is becoming. Now, I know there are some of you that are afraid that Liam Cohen's going to leave Tampa Bay the way Dave Canales did at the end of last season. I can't see the Glazers letting that happen. He's too talented of a play caller, too smart of a coach. One way or another, Cohen stays in Tampa Bay. The Glazers and Jason Licht know that the NFL is more offensive-oriented than ever. Look around the league at some of the best teams like Baltimore, Kansas City, Detroit, Buffalo, Green Bay, and Minnesota. They have great quarterback play, a high-powered offense, and a good but not necessarily great defense. Now, the Lions actually have both, and they're probably the exception there. But if you can put up 30 points per game in today's NFL, and the Bucs are 4th in scoring right now, averaging 28.1 points per game, then you can get by without a dominant defense. The Ravens are a prime example of that. The current trend in the NFL is to find a talented offensive-minded head coach and play caller and pair that with a talented quarterback. It's much easier to find a good defensive coordinator than it is to find the right offensive guru who can also be a head coach. In time, I've got no doubt that's going to be Liam Cohen in Tampa Bay. I'm not sure when that's going to be. Maybe next year. The Bucs have already built the kind of offense to get to and win another Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield and this offensive line leading the way. As long as they can successfully revamp their defense in the offseason, there's no reason to believe that the Bucs can't be a legit Super Bowl contender in 2025. We are a legit source for news for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you know that. That's why you watch these Pewter Pulse videos and check out our content on Pewter Report TV. Please hit the subscribe button as we get closer to 17,000. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram at Pewter Report, and pewterreport.com for all the Bucs news and game coverage, transactions, injury reports, and content that you'll find. And I'll be back soon with a new Pewter Pulse.